thought this was a good piece. I thought that the sense of style within this piece was very strong. The costume designing and the makeup obviously were just really incredible. I thought all the lead actors had a really great costume design setup that really sort of contributed to the overall stylistic approach. Had a very classic horror theme. I thought it like Monster of the Week type of feel, and I thought it matched with the aesthetic of the music and the overall the house that they were in. I thought it had a very sort of antique, timeless quality going on there that really worked to like create a sense of classic horror tropes, while also a sense of like dark humor with the setup of these characters in this setting, playing out that way. I thought they did a lot of good work with how little dialogue there was in the piece, and I thought that it required them to have a very expressive a performances in terms of their body language, in terms of how the cinematography and the editing created a sense of pace throughout the piece, and I thought it worked very well all together, and was clearly constructed with a sort of a vision stylistically that I thought ended up coming through strongly with a horror aesthetic. So I ended up enjoying the piece and thought that it was well done in terms of production quality.
The makeup on these two characters playing chess was phenomenal. It was very realistic and very eerie. Um, and you use the radio to push the narrative forward in such a creative way. And I think the way that you scored this with the old time radio was also very creative, and you could feel different highs and lows in the piece uh, through that. So that was very smart. Yeah, stylistically, it was really well done. There was something mystical and really creepy about it. It almost, for me, like visually, was somewhere between like Labyrinth and The Grudge. And The Grudge is probably just coming from that makeup. But it was super, super visually enticing to watch. Uh, the storyline, there was like a clear story being told, and I think you achieve it with um, very little dialogue. Like I said, you used the scoring very, very well, and it came together to be a really interesting piece to watch.
This kind of reminded me of a grim version of Pixar's Gerald's Game, the short that is about the elderly man playing a chess match. The cat and one of the characters looks live action animated almost, while the two lead characters, it's kind of clear as day that the two main stars are wearing prosthetic work from head to toe. The job getting them into this certain look definitely takes a fair amount of time to do. It wouldn't surprise me if you said that these looks probably took 8 hours each to complete. Their work shows here, and I like that both characters are kind of doing the same thing to one another. These devilish acts coming into play with the twist at the end. It plays sort of campy, but it works with this, kind of humorous, counteracting each of these acts taking place, from cheating in the game to trying to poison his friend. The title sequence and the music composition at the beginning kind of builds this tone for this campy factor as well that we're hit with in the end. I thought it was uh, fun for what it was.
Very bizarre film, which I totally loved. Everything from the set design, costume design, makeup, all kind of worked together to conjure a very real, palpable sense of world, which is very unique, really interesting. Place you definitely want to explore more. And the whole thing had a very surrealist bent to it, which I think I made it funny in a really great way, but also beguiling. You kind of like, what's going on? Trying to figure out what's going on, which is always, I think, always a really engaging tool. And the use of the titular radio again was really cool. The music and the way that they kind of kept sort of repeating everything, like added an extra dimension both to the world and to what was going on, which kind of made things more interesting, a bit funnier, and also a bit creepier. Especially at the end, the use of the radio at the end is very creepy.
Obviously, the makeup job was fantastic. The costume, the visual, prosthetics, makeup, all of that. That whole department really shined here. Um, but beyond that, I really want to shout out the whole production design of the house, of the room. y'all, that is A1 production design. That is an example of production design, like carrying story. You know what I mean? Um, Great writing, also great editing. But wherever, location, whatever location or whatever y'all did, even if it's a soundstage, y'all really made that house come to life. And I really want to shut that up. So really great job.
Right off the bat, I thought the sets were awesome. They were really Tim Burton-esque. Reminded me a lot of his stop motion, but this time we were seeing it in live action, which I thought was really cool. Um, the set design was awesome. Everything down to the tiniest detail was so cool to look at. You know, you just want to pause the frame and, you know, examine the sets. They were really cool. The special effects makeup was also amazing. Everything visually was awesome, straight out of a creepy storybook. Um, it was very grotesque and creepy. You almost didn't want to look at the main characters in this. It made my skin crawl. The animatronic cat was also really cool and fit in perfectly with this set. And of course, the story in and of itself was great. I think my main focus was on these characters and their design. Overall, really awesome to watch. Visually stunning.
It reminded me a bit in the beginning of, Tales of the Crypt, the famous 80s TV show collection of, more like collection of anthology shorts in one movie. I think the makeup was fantastic, absolutely brilliant. I'm wondering how long did it take to uh, have the characters ready to shoot. Absolutely brilliant. And I like the chess game, the metaphor that we have there, and also in the end the closing credits with all the images and the clips that we have, that makes crystal clear that this is not just a short, it's a proof of concept, and the filmmaker wants to turn it into a longer feature. So overall, I think this is a great idea to showcase the power of this film and what this film can become with the right budget and obviously the right cast and crew. But I think the filmmaker should keep going and showcasing this short to everyone out there, because surely sooner or later it will be possible to find a budget to turn this film into a feature. It is already quite interesting and very engaging as a short. Can't really wait to see how it will turn out once the full feature will be shot.
The design of it, the fact that even the radio was a character, it made it all very well done, and it felt very much something like Tim Burton could have made. Which is clearly probably the style of the filmmaker, but I love that, as I'm a major Tim Burton fan, so this is right within the aesthetic of films I do like. It was humorous, the makeup was astounding, the puppetry of the cat, every single thing felt like a character in the story, and the sound design makes it even better. It all came really together really well, and I think this is something that should be viewed in mass, because I think a lot of Tim Burton fans will really love this and know that there's more people emulating his style.